What is up? My name's Brad and this is Operation GameCube. Now, for any of you that are new to the channel, in this series we're trying to build a GameCube collection starting off with just £10. By using our charity shops, our car boots, our Facebook marketplace, looking for stuff for cheap that we can sell for a profit to build a game fund to buy GameCube bangers. Now, last week we hit a bit of a milestone. We are now in double digits in terms of the amount of GameCube games in the collection. And we've also got that extremely heavy hitter, the most expensive game on our list. So I'm very happy with the pace we're picking these games up. And I'm not sure I want to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. It has proven a lot easier than Operation N64. But having said that, the condition is less of a factor. GameCube games in good condition is a lot easier to find than N64 games. But I thought the scarcity of GameCube games would prove to be an issue. When you pop into CEXs or retro game shops, GameCube games are few and far between. Sometimes they have none. So that's what I thought would be an issue, but touch wood, we're doing pretty well and we're picking them up consistently at a nice rate. So I'm very happy. Just jinxed myself, things are going to go downhill now. So let's get into this week's episode. Now, we've made 3 sales this week and 3 really good ones. Now, the first thing we sold was that Miami Dolphins jersey. That went for $34.99 plus postage. We then sold that 28 days and 28 weeks later Blu-ray box set. That went for £33. And we also sold that, it was like a plug and play, but like handheld Miss Pac-Man, like handheld arcade console thingy. That went for £25 plus postage. So after all deductions, that's a grand total of this to add to the game fund for a grand total of this. Yeah, game fund is looking super healthy. Now, the plan for this week is to definitely make a little bit of a trip to CX. I got them, the rest of them Blu-rays we picked up last week to trade in. There's only 3 of them. I think that's 16 quid, but it's credit nonetheless. So that's what I want to do. Plus, I might try and get a dedicated day of hunting. So let's see how we get on. Let's go. What is up, everyone? So today, me and the boy are having a bit of a dedicated hunting day. We're going to hit the charity shops. We're going to go to a couple of different locations. First off, we're going to hit the post office, send a parcel, hit the local charity shops there. And then I'm thinking to maybe go to Port Talbot. You've got a CX there, cash converters, bunch of charity shops, and retro stashes there as well. So I think that's the plan so far. Things might change, but let's just get going. Right guys, first pickup of the day, this Minecraft Lego. I believe it's brand new. It's got them like seals there on the back with the numbers on. So yeah, I think this is brand new. A bit of a punt, paid 4 quid for it. I have to look it up and do a bit of research, but yeah, didn't catch it on film, but wanted to show you guys. So like I said, we've headed to Port Talbot for the day. Wanted to spend the day there, hitting all the charity shops and then heading to CX and Retro Stash. First stop was this charity shop, couple of DVDs outside in the sun, perfect place to keep them. I had a little look through these before I headed inside, checked out the game drawers, couple of drawers here where they keep their games, mostly FIFAs and Wii Fits, but I have had luck in here in the past. I found sealed Xbox One games in here and some other stuff, so yeah, always have a good look. Now, this charity shop's probably my favourite one in Port Talbot. They're super friendly in there. Always let me pop out the back and check out the games. They don't keep them on the shop floor. So I always ask any games that are like, yeah, come out the back, have a look. And they had a couple of stacks here. Couldn't see anything worth picking up. But still had a flick through just to make sure. It's always good to see a nice stack of games. But yeah, I think they're 2 quid on them. And let me know if I missed anything. If you can see I've missed anything, let me know. But I couldn't see anything worth picking up really. It had more than £1 trade in. So if you've been watching the channel, you will know I'm partial to picking up a lightsaber or two. So I saw this one for £1.50 and thought it was worth a gamble. I saw this glass cabinet here full of Build-A-Bear How to Train Your Dragons. They had £10 a pop on them. This charity shop does price things up on some things and doesn't on others. I did find these two Wales jerseys, £4.50 for a Wales rugby shirt. I think it's a cracking price, and these things were in lovely condition and good sizes as well. So after visiting all the charity shops, it was time to make our way to CX, do that little trade. I actually really like the Port Talbot CX. It's not a massive shop, but they tend to have a nice variety of stuff in there. So I had a good look through the retro in the glass cabinets, and then I had a look on the shelves as well, obviously. Real friendly staff in there. Yeah, it's always a good experience. So yeah, I really like the Port Talbot shop. Once we'd finished in CX, we headed to Retro Stash. I absolutely love Retro Stash. Great shop, full to the brim of games and toys and comic books and stuff. So yeah, really love visiting this place. I don't get to go here as often as I like. So when I am in Port Talbot and they are open, I'm popping in. Had a good look through the glass cabinets. I'm obviously on a one-track mind at the moment. GameCube. So I'm not really taking in a lot of the stuff that's there. I'm having a little bit of a butcher's, but with me, when it comes to collecting, I really struggle to split my mind, if you know what I mean. If I'm going for GameCube, that's sort of like what I focus on, and yeah, so sometimes I miss a bunch of stuff that I really want, and I end up picking up further down the line, and I could have picked up on this opportunity, but didn't. It's just how my mind works sometimes. But yeah, cool to see, love this shop. Unfortunately, he didn't have much GameCube in. He did have one game on our list, but I don't think my budget is quite there yet to pick it up. But I'll probably go back there in the future and hope there's more GameCube games in, because I'd love to buy some games in here to add to the collection. So after leaving Port Talbot, we weren't done just yet, and we popped to a couple of charity shops on our way home. A couple of VHS, or I say a couple of boxes of VHS here. I always have a good gander at the VHS. I'm looking for horror. Horror VHS are probably the best sort of selling VHS. But I'm also just looking for cool VHS. I don't collect VHS. I've said it enough times yet. I do collect VHS. I don't know. But yeah, I always have a good gander. So the last stop before heading home is one of my favourite places, and they just so happen to have a few games in the red boxes. And we are back in the games room, and this week has gone pretty well. Not only have we got some nice bits and pieces to try and sell or trade, we're also adding a GameCube game to the collection courtesy CX, and we've got a couple parcels to open here, one of which came about in a really cool way and is another game to add to the collection. But before we get into any of that, let's do the money. Now, we went to CX, took them 3 Blu-rays and ended up getting £16 in credit, so we can add that to the CX fund. But we did spend £42 of CX credit, so we can deduct that now. Right, let's do the cash. So we spent £33 of the game fund on stuff to try and sell or trade, so we can deduct that now. So the game fund should be looking like that. All my maths correct. Right, let's get into the pickups to try and sell or trade. So the first pickups this week came from one of my favourite places, and they come in a form of something I normally overlook. and that is PC games. Now, PC games are something I very rarely look at. There are one or two things I sort of know to keep my eye out for, and this is exactly what these are. And they are the Lord of the Rings games. So we've got Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth. CX sell this for £10, and they give you £3 trade. I'll probably try and sell these myself because of the difference between retail and trade is quite a lot. So yeah, £10 they sell it for, £3 trade. The next one is The Battle for Middle-earth 2. Now CX sell this for £20, but they only give you £7 trade. I don't like them odds. And the last one is The Battle of Middle-earth Expansion Pack, The Rise of the Witch King. Now this is the one to look out for. CX sell this for 28 quid, and I think they'll give you £12 or something like that. But like I said, I'm going to try my luck selling them on eBay. So yeah, man, don't overlook PC games. Sometimes you'll see a box of them and just be like, I'm not looking at any of that. But you'd be surprised, there is some value there. I think flight simulators are another one that I've found have value. So yeah, don't overlook them. If you've got the time, go through them. There might be some hidden value that you're missing out on. The last thing we found was this combo. I've never seen it before. It is this award-winning combo. It's BioShock and Oblivion. They've done a bunch of these combo games on the Xbox 360. Both discs are in there, both manuals in there. The only thing is, I've just realised that the BioShock disc is the classics disc, and I don't think it's supposed to be. But CX only sell this for 2 quid. But on eBay, it's fetching like 7. But I don't know if I can sell it now that it's got that classics disc. But I thought it was cool. I've never seen it before. It jumped out to me with that like orange text on there. But yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out what we're going to do with it. So that was the first pickups. We then went out and did a bit of a full day. I headed to Port Talbot, and on my way there, I stopped at the post office, as I always do. And in them charity shops, I found something pretty cool. And it was this Minecraft Lego. It is the Micro World. I believe this thing is brand new. Look, it's got these seals on it with the numbers. They've never been opened, top and bottom. So yeah, I believe this is brand new and sealed. And when I looked it up when I got home, I took a bit of a punt on it. But when I looked it up at home, this thing's selling for about £40 to £45 brand new. So yeah, that's a bit of a win right there. If we can get somewhere around that, that's a pretty good pickup in my eyes. We then headed to Port Talbot, and it was pretty dry. The charity shops there are a bit hit and miss for me. Sometimes I'm real lucky, and sometimes I hardly find anything. But to make up for it, there's a CX there, a Cash Generators, and one of my favourite retro shops, Retro Stash. So we hit all of them as well. But the first thing we found, I believe, was this lightsaber. I'm not sure whose it is. It was working before. Oh, it's not turned on. It's light and sound. I believe it's another one of them, like builder. I can't remember the call now. It's got like the holes for it and stuff. But yeah, I wasn't leaving it behind for £1.50. I've got a bunch of lightsabers listed, but they don't do as much as this one. I think it's pretty cool. So that was the first pickup, and then the rest of them came actually in the last charity shop that we visited. Now there was like a glass cabinet full of these How to Train Your Dragon Build-A-Bears. I asked about the price. They said £10 each. Now £10 each was a bit rich for me, but he did say I can do them for £6.50 because they've been sitting there a while. So I was a bit selective. I did pick one of them up, but in hindsight, I think I should have picked them all up and held on to them because the live action movie is coming out very soon, I believe. So that might have had an effect on the price, I don't know. But I picked the one that I thought had the most value from my limited research I did. And that is this one that I've completely forgotten his name. Damn it. I knew his name earlier, but I've forgotten his name. Let me know in the comments below what this dragon's name is. Like I said, $6.50. I paid for it. And I'm seeing sold for about 15 to 20 on eBay. So yeah. But then, like I said, maybe I'll hold on to it and see if the release of the film has any impact. But it is Build-A-Bear. Maybe I should have picked them up. Let me know in the comments below what you would have done. Would you have picked them up? Would you have left them behind? Do you think the film will have an impact? But hopefully, yeah, we can get a bit of cash for this. I think I will hold it for a while. We also found a couple more rugby jerseys in there. Some Wales rugby jerseys, £4.50 for a jersey. I think this is a great price. We've got this Admiral one here, and it is a, I think it's a double XL. No, this is just a large. This one's just a large, the Admiral one. Nice Under Armour rugby top here, very nice. And the other one is, how do you say it? Isuzu. This one is a double XL or an XL. It's an XL, nice size again, real clean. Isuzu, I think that's how you say it. These should fetch around 25, 30, 20, 25, 30, somewhere around that sort of mark. So yeah, not too bad for £4.50 each. I think that's everything. That is everything we found in Port Talbot in the charity shops. And on our way home, we popped again to my favourite place where we found them PC games actually at the beginning of the week. I check that place so often. I'm in there all the time. Actually said to the woman, I bet you're sick of the sight of me. But there were some games in the box. And I was actually rocked up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So these either just went out or have been sitting there. I doubt they've been sitting there. But yeah, some decent games here. The first one is Fallout New Vegas. Again, this is me speculating. CX only sell it for £4. I think they'll give you £1.20 trade. But again, I'm going to hold on to this until the release of the series. But I think that's next year, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's next year. But yeah, that's a speculator. We've got Grand Theft Auto episodes from Liberty City. I think they give you £6 or £4 trade at CX. These are all £1.50. The next one is Diablo, Reaper of Souls. I think CX sellers for 10 and give you £6 trade. And the last one is the best one. It is Dark Souls Remastered. I think this has actually gone down in price since I picked it up like 2 days ago to me filming now. The CX sell it for 25 and I think they give you 12 or 18. I can't quite remember in trading credit. So yeah, nice little pickup to finish off the week. Yeah, man, I'm pretty happy. We've got a nice amount of games. It's always good to pick up games. It always makes me feel happier during the week if I find some games. So yeah, great to pick them up. Some more jerseys, which are doing pretty well for me at the moment. Yeah, man, I'm very happy, and that Lego set. But let's get into the GameCube games. That's what it's about. So we'll do the pickup from CX first. And when I went in there, they actually had 4 GameCube games, all of which were on my list. One of them was Billy Hatcher, which we had already. I asked to look at Pikmin, no manual, left that one behind. And the other one was Twilight Princess, which was £110. So I could afford it, but I want to hold off a little bit till my budget is a bit higher for them sort of high-end games. And the last game that was there, that was also on the list, was this F-Zero GX. I actually love the F-Zero games. The future of racing. Race for glory in the Grand Prix Cups. Speed through an incredible storyline as Captain Falcon. Take on up to 3 friends. Build and customize your own machine, challenge your time ghosts and much more. 30 pilots, 20 courses, 1 champion. Yeah, man, I absolutely love the F-Zero games. I think I have the one on the N64. There it is, F-Zero X. So it's nice to have F-Zero X and now F-Zero GX. Let's have a look inside. Manual is there. Disc is nice. I checked it in store, obviously, before I bought it. The case was actually cracked, so I made her change the case out. But yeah, very happy to add this bad boy to the collection, stick him on the shelf and knock him off the list. So F-Zero is right there at the bottom and it is gone. Now, that's not the last time we'll be picking that list up. We've got a couple parcels to open here. Let's do this one first. This one comes courtesy of Colin. Shout out, Colin. Absolute legend. He actually messaged me on one of my videos, said, I found a game off your list. I'd like to send it to you. I said, no, don't send me anything, mate. Just you watching the videos is enough. And I heard nothing from him. And then I had a sale on eBay come through, and along with it came a message, and it was Colin again. And he said, I got a game I want to send to you. And I said, look, what about if I cancel your order and we'll just do a trade? You can have what you bought and we'll trade for the game. And he said, no. Keep the money for the game fund. I want to send you this game. He was very persistent. So I caved and I let him, and he's an absolute legend. Shout out Colin, what a legend for this. So yeah, let's open this bad boy up. So yeah, he found this in a charity shop. He said he only paid like £1 for it. So yeah, man. Finding GameCube games to the charity shop is always cool. It's always a great feeling. And he found this and wanted to send it to me because it was on my list. And that game is Wave Race Blue Storm. Storm warning. Prepare for the wettest, wildest racing ever as Wave Race splashes onto the Nintendo GameCube. I love Wave Race for the N64. Such a simple game. 4 riders, very limited amount of tracks. But I absolutely love it. And I just imagine this is a bit of an upgrade on that. But yeah, shout out Colin again, man. I can't thank you enough, man. I really appreciate it. This game will hold sentimental value now because someone who watches my videos and enjoys them wanted to send it to me. And it means a lot. I really do appreciate it. And let's have a look inside. Of course, I didn't doubt you for a second. It is complete. I'm sure the disc is perfectly fine. Disc is good. Disc is good. And yeah, man, Wave Race, one of the cheaper games on the list, but one of the games I'm quite excited about because I love these sort of games. See, a shout out, Colin, you're an absolute legend. I said it, like, I'll keep saying it. I don't want you guys to send me anything, but I really do appreciate this, mate. And yeah, let's stick him on the shelf and knock him off the list. And Wave Race is down here. And that takes us to a grand total of 12 games off the GameCube list. And what are we? Episode 16? So we're closing in on almost a GameCube game an episode, which is mad. When we were doing this series, I think we were like 10, maybe 11 episodes in before we picked up one game. So yeah, to be in this sort of position already is fantastic. Let's get into this parcel. Now this parcel is nothing to do with Operation GameCube, but it is a bit of a milestone on its own. Now I had this off Vinted, I paid 10 quid for it, plus postage, which is cheaper than they sell it in CX without postage. So yeah, I'm very happy with the price. And it's another game to add to my collection. Jesus. Do you know what I'm really happy about is the way it was packaged, man. This came from Vinted, by the way. It's in like a waterproof bag. It's in a nice box. It's fragile on it. Are you sure this came from Vinted, Brad? It did. Yeah, as you guys are probably well aware, Vinted has a bit of a reputation of not being packaged very well. Packaged in Asda bags or bin bags. Look at this. I think he frequents CX. And let's have a look. So that game is Mission Impossible for the N64. It is complete. Manual is in there. Cartridge is in there. Box is in pretty decent shape. Not perfect, but good enough by my standards, 100%. Cartridge, manual, precaution booklet. This thing is actually pretty decent, I can't deny. Let's close them up. So there he is, you can have a look at the box. Edges and corners are pretty good. There's a slight little squish in it, but that is fine. Yeah, man, I'm very happy with this. And this is a milestone because this puts me on 50 N64 games. And I'm not going to say it, but there is potential for me going for a full set. I didn't say that. I'm not going for a full set. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I don't want to ramble on too much longer, but if you are enjoying this series, please let me know by smashing that like button. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.